Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Before I get started, I want to say that the opinions that I give here are my own opinions. They are extremely subjective. If I dislike a book, it is not a reflection on the author, and it is not a reflection on people who do like it. Different people have different tastes, and that's okay. Today, I will be reviewing The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a queer, pseudo-historical novel. The description says, aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Monique is not exactly on top of the world. Her husband has left her, and her professional life is going nowhere. Regardless of why Evelyn has selected her to write her biography, Monique is determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career. Summoned to Evelyn's luxurious apartment, Monique listens in fascination as the actress tells her story. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course the seven husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a very real connection to the legendary star, but as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. I'll give this 3 stars with a caveat. This is absolutely not my kind of book. It falls into the category of books I've heard a lot about and only good, so I might have read it eventually on my own, but ultimately the reason I read it is because my book club picked it. So when I say it's 3 stars, I mean that it's pretty damn good. I'm just not someone who was ever going to love it. This is going to be a short one for sure. There's just nothing I have to say about this book. I was engaged, and the characters were very realistic. Whether those characters are likable or not is extremely debatable, but they are, at the very least, the kind of characters where it doesn't ultimately matter if you like them or not. That's not the point. I'm pretty sure this is an excellent example of a morally gray character. Evelyn is a total bitch. She's a lying, manipulative, backstabbing, egocentric piece of shit. But aside from being a little too set on being famous, it's hard to say she made the wrong choices, which she says herself within the book. Honestly, if the description of this book sounds even a little bit like your kind of thing, I recommend checking this out. It was very well crafted. Alright, the other things I want to mention are spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, now is the time to pause or close the video. For everyone else, let's talk details. I really like the way bisexuality is presented in this book. Evelyn is very precise about how she presents her sexuality, and I think it's handled very well. I especially appreciate that Monique asks her directly about her bisexuality being what caused her first breakup with Celia, and Evelyn stating unequivocally and extremely clearly that her orientation wasn't the problem. I don't doubt that some people think less favorably about the bisexuality in this book. There are certainly arguments that can be made about why and how it isn't done well. But for my money, Reid did her very best to handle the topic with care, and she did a great job. I also don't know how I feel about how things turned out with Evelyn's connection to Monique. If you're watching this without reading it, Evelyn's best friend, and 5th husband, was a gay man. Just before he dies, he falls in love with another man, but the man happens to be Monique's father, and he's not willing to leave his family because he does love his wife, even if it isn't romantic, and he won't abandon his daughter. They then get into a car accident and are both killed, but Harry lives long enough that Evelyn thinks he might make it, and so covers up the fact that he was driving drunk by making it look like Monique's father was driving alone. Monique has always been hurt by the belief that her father decided to drive drunk, so finding out he didn't is important to her, even if it comes with other uncomfortable revelations. But she's not sure what to tell her mother. She broaches the topic in a very roundabout manner so that she can gauge what her mother might or might not have known without giving away the truth. Her mother gives the impression of having been happily married, even if their relationship wasn't especially passionate. Because of this response, Monique decides not to tell her, at least not within the confines of the book. On the one hand, I get it. She was happily married, and finding out that her husband loved her but wasn't in love with her may have come as a horrible blow. Monique didn't want to cause that potential pain when she didn't have to. But we never find out how her mother feels about the accident. Monique doesn't ask her about it, and the information is never volunteered. So we're left with the possibility that her mother is also deeply hurt by his decision to drive drunk, but no certainty. And she just isn't going to learn the truth about that. I'm not saying Monique was wrong, just that it gave me uncomfortable feelings that I don't know what to do with. Anyway, those are my very few thoughts on the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you liked this video, I hope you'll watch more in the future. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.